Hi guys, episode 1 of this hook rug. Never really opened it, so I had no idea how big it was. So it doesn't even fit on this part of my table, and it goes. So it's going to be a challenge for sure to do this on camera. I'm having to move a lot of my storage stuff for scrapbooking out of the way, and hopefully into a place where it won't get knocked off the table as I'm moving this beast. So to get it prepared, I have trimmed it down to an inch ish from the where the color starts, mitered the corners so that I can overlap them, and I crochet them, not crochet, I hook them in as I'm going. So these first 2 rows are black, so fairly boring. So who else watching this? Who else has done hook rugs? I haven't done one in a really long time. In fact, this one has been sitting in my craft room for the entire 9 years that I've lived in it. um, but yeah, it's I got them at a secondhand store at Goodwill. I believe it was one of our thrift stores, and I actually bought 2 of them. I think the other one I gave to my daughter. But to the best of my knowledge, she's also not ever done it. So she might have hers floating around somewhere in her house. So if you've never done a hook rug before, you put your yarn around your hook. There's a little flippy thing here. This one's really sticky. You go under, you go through the hole, and you put the bar for the color, for the thread yarn through, and then you bring this over, and then the hook grabs it and pulls it through. And now I'm seeing why I'm having so much trouble with this hook. Let's see if I can find. I'm not seeing it right off the bat. I have a jar of different type crochet hooks and stuff that I've kept when I destashed my craft room of all of that. But yeah, I know there's a hook in that jar. And it's funny because this one, the box said does not come with, and there was one in there. But yeah, this one's not a very good one. So again, wrap your yarn around your hook. Make sure that little tail is down. Go over and under, go under the bar that matches the color that you're working on. Pull it back so that little army lifts up. Move your yarn to the other side. Keep pulling. The hook will grab your yarn and bring it through. Now this one, since it's crooked, it keeps splitting my thread or my yarn as I pull it through. I was able to just bend that. So let's see if it works a little better now. There. Yes, it does. And I'm trying to keep it on in frame as best I can. But as I said at the beginning, it's very large. So it's proving to be a challenge, to say the least. So what's everybody been up to? A lot of the creators that I normally watch, like 3 of them had to have surgery within the first couple days of January. And so they haven't been videoing either at all, like Pam at the Paper Outpost. Her first video will drop on Saturday for the year. January 1st, I think was the first or the second. Anyway, she had to have surgery. And I don't know on what, but she said she needed to take the month off for recovery. So I would assume that it was, not just like a little issue to deal with, but if she wants people to know what her surgery was for, she'll tell us. But I'm looking forward to her videos coming back. I've missed watching her. She is another junk journaler. She's a little more, in my opinion, she's a little more in line with the idea of junk journaling, in that, she actually uses junk in her journals. All of her book covers are made out of packaging of some sort. She uses mailers to make tags and journaling cards. She uses envelopes to make pockets and flips. So she does a lot more in the true sense of junk journaling than I think any of the other YouTubers I watch. But yeah, so that's Pam at the Paper Outpost. Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media also had to have a surgery at the beginning of the year, and has not. I think she's only done like maybe 4 videos just within the last, week and a half. She's finally getting to where she can have a little bit of energy. And then Edith at Scrap Busting with Me didn't have to have surgery, but she was very ill. And she has shared on her channel what the issue was, and she had an infection in her something gland. It started with a P, basically in her jaw. It's like one of the muscle groups in her jaw. Paratoid, something like that gland, which has made it very difficult for her to speak, because I guess it triggers her TMJ, which she's always kind of had. So she really took a lot of time off of recording to give her body a chance to recuperate. And she's just come back within the last week, and I think she's only put out maybe 3 videos, public videos. She did finish the recipe journal not membership lives. They were private lives. If you bought the kit, then you got the 3 video instruction videos along with the purchase of the kit. But but yeah, she's still struggling, but she's, trying to get back into the swing of things. But I'm glad to see all three of them back, no matter what capacity they come back in. Melina did a Scrapbusters last Saturday. I hope that means that she's bringing that series back. I've missed it. I never actually finished. I didn't get to finish my collage books or my idea books because she quit filming. And it doesn't matter which way you wrap your yarn because it comes out the same no matter what. I don't know if you noticed that I started going the opposite direction. A monster, we're into a monster. It's getting stronger. Sorry, got lost in the song I'm listening to. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about the creators that I watch. So yeah, I'm glad they're coming back. I think everybody just really got burned out. It seems like almost simultaneously, and like all the communities they follow, it's like went from, not having enough hours in the day to watch all of the creators that I follow to having so many hours of just watching stupid, movies on TV because none of my creator friends were dropping videos. I'm like, ugh. So I'm not doing the carnivore diet anymore. My initial plan was to go through January 31st. I hit the 14th and went, 2 weeks is enough. It's the purpose that I had for it was to see, to challenge my GI system into working, period. And I felt miserable the entire 2 weeks. I felt sicker than I normally did. And so I'm like, well, 2 weeks is enough. If it hasn't, shocked my system enough, then it's not going to. And surprisingly enough, I got really sick of eating just meat and protein, meat, protein, meat, protein, which I thought, would never happen because I love beef. And I've always said that, I could eat beef every day and not have a problem. Well, if it was just once a day, I probably would have been okay. But, in order to not be starving, you need to eat more than that. But I did get back onto intermittent fasting as a result of doing that, though, which is good because I've been trying that for several years to get back to intermittent fasting. To the seasons of my youth. It's funny, my song, my playlist, I just totally went from Imagine Dragons singing their song Monster to Dolly Parton singing Coat of Many Colors. Could not be two more diametrically opposed songs. That I was so proud of. Stories of the Bible she had read. Many colors Joseph wore, and then she said, good luck and happiness. I get these last two on, then I'm gonna look up and see what time we got on the clock. Oh, it's only been 15 minutes. So I don't know if you saw, I do have a LaCroix. So it's, dirty fasting. But I'm not eating anything. So I'm just going to go with the dirty fast and deal with it because my meds make me very, very dehydrated and thirsty. And I can't stand plain water. But I had a couple sodas after I stopped doing the carnivore. I have discovered that Pepsi now tastes disgusting to me. I seem to have been okay with the Dr. Pepper. But yeah, the Pepsi. So I'm just doing the carbonated sparkling waters. Just means I'm going to have to buy them more often because normally, my husband drinks those and I drink the Pepsis. But now we're both drinking the flavored waters. We're going to go through them a lot quicker. If you saw my community tab for the 29th, I think it was, you'll see I made my first attempt at making a carnivore meal. It's protein pasta. And when I went to add the egg white protein in, as soon as I open it, I'm like, weird. It smells like chocolate. Yep, it's because it is. So I ended up with chocolate noodles, which then led me on a goose chase onto Google trying to find recipes for what to make with chocolate noodles. I did find a recipe, so I think I'm going to give it a shot. If it turns out gross, I'm only out my ingredients. And I ordered some more egg white powder to come from Amazon because I want to go back into town and get it. So I'm gonna stay. I do have to keep looking up too because I'm now bumping into my my microphone. So just gotta keep looking up and making sure that I'm not getting disconnected from my own microphone. It doesn't usually like being bumped. Like as soon as I bump it, it disconnects. So far, yeah, the tape is just there until I can get a couple rows done, and then I'll take this bottom tape, take these two off because then that flap will be held in place, and I'll just have to keep adjusting as I move across. Everything sticks. Tape sticks to everything except for what it's supposed to. Stick to everything except for what it's supposed to. I'm going to schedule this as a premiere and hopefully get people to come in and chat with me. But we'll see. Yeah, it's tripping my brain out too because like I'm on free StreamYard, so I only get 20 hours of recording. And this video is airing on February 1st, but I'm taping it on the 29th. So it's like, am I going to run out of hours before the end of the month? Because it won't reset until February 1st. But I said in the previous video, if I do run out of hours, then I'll try to figure out how to actually record from my camera. I was actually pretty surprised that I got burnt out on the carnivore so quickly. And I was mixing and matching my meats. I'd hit salmon a couple times, imitation crab meat. I did chicken in like 4 different ways. Hamburger. I did a tacos for me, shellless. So I just ate the taco meat and the cheese. Steak bites covered in butter. Yeah, and it was just like steak, beef ribs, ground beef, steak. I was like, okay, I'm kind of sick of eating beef. And I seriously never thought I'd hear myself say that. Ever. But my hands are very tired this evening from having to pipe the stuff through my piping bag, making those noodles earlier. It's like, now my hands hurt. See? Sticking to everything except for what you're supposed to. It's annoying as heck. I got to figure out what music is allowed on YouTube. I think what I can do is create a playlist, a private playlist, and upload songs from YouTube onto it, because I know before I've gotten copyright notices from YouTube on videos that were not even made public yet. Like they were scheduled to go, and YouTube had already sent me a notification that there was a copyright issue. So I'm thinking if I just upload a bunch of songs into a private playlist, YouTube should yell at me. Because yeah, this is a lot to sit through, and with no talking from me. But there's not a whole lot going on. I'm still stumped on the journal that I'm supposed to be making. She wants tigers and rabbits, as well as the colors white and light green. I'm like, how do those all go together? I mean, the colors with the bunnies I can manage. The colors with the tiger I can manage. It's the rabbit and tiger combination that's got me thrown off. Okay, so this one has come loose. So what I'm going to do, since it's the last one anyway, just going to put some glue there. And let it dry and do its thing. We'll come back to it the next go around. All right. So one row done. 29 minutes. 29. Okay, so with that, I'm going to wrap this up for this time and set this aside and let that glue dry. And say goodbye to y'all. Hit that like button on the way out if you didn't do so on the way in. I would greatly appreciate it. Gets me into the algorithm and kind of tries to keep me there. And as always, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Share my channel with anybody that you feel would like my content. And yeah, I think that might be. I'm still cleaning off my desk. I cleaned off a lot of my desk. Did the post major project cleanup of my desk. So now I have room for another day or so. So we will talk to you in the next video. Bye.